The GOAT debate,
Do you
know,
know
so
how blessed we are to be living in an era when there is both Messi and Ronaldo?
So the woman who boss Julia Stewart is a broadcaster with Super Sports International. She's our guest on Sports Check. Julia, you're welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
How was your stay?
It's been amazing to be here, getting used to the heat.
Oh goodness.
But yeah, I'm really loving Ghana. I was not expecting anything when I arrived here, just to be part of Women of Valor. And my trip has given me so much. It's been amazing. Thank you.
Have you tried any of our foods yet?
Yeah, of course I have. Everyone's always going on about Ghana versus Nigeria.
Jollof.
So I definitely had to have some jollof rice. Plenty, actually.
But have you tried Nigeria and jollof? And if you're going to rate, you haven't tried?
No, I haven't. So it's 1-0 to Ghana at the moment.
Energy. Great. So Julia is a studio anchor and a pitch-side reporter with Super Sports International. If you don't know, she's doing amazing stuff. She's a big inspiration to millions of people worldwide, including women. Now, Julia, we know that, okay, so the light, sound, camera, action, and then we see you on set, you're talking and all that. How do you handle bad days?
Yeah, if I'm having a bad day, personally, you won't see that on screen.
Great.
You can't, because people pay a lot of money for DSTV subscription. And they don't care about how you feel if you're having a terrible hair day or you don't like the place you're in, or none of that's got to matter. It's part of being the consummate professional to be able to fake it till you make it.
Exactly.
Right? That's what it's all about. So I think personally, if I am having a bad day, I don't think you would be able to know.
Great.
And that's part of learning how to deal with your emotions and how to manage, and knowing when you have to step up and step out, and like you said, lights, camera, action.
We go. Great. Now, you've been a big inspiration to a lot of people, women. I also love what you do. I watch you and I'm like, oh God, you've got it. Did you always, was it always the thing that you wanted to be a media personality when you were young? Was that what you wanted to do?
No, I had no clue. I actually had to take a gap year after matric, because I didn't know what I wanted to study. I just didn't know. And I studied film and media production. So it wasn't a journalism course. It wasn't with the intention of going to super sport. I kind of just found my way. And I'm a firm believer of, if something is meant for you, it will find you. It was not easy. It was not easy. But it was a path that I am very grateful to have been able to navigate in my own way. And I think the journalism base that I have, having started as a print reporter, understanding how to construct news stories, understanding how to construct arguments from my university days, I think that I've tried to carry that into my presentation, in the way I ask questions, in the way you have to be brave to ask tough questions in the face of sometimes a defeat. A coach has just lost a game and he doesn't necessarily want to answer, or there's a red card or a penalty that wasn't given. Those are difficult. So I always go back to the basic principles of journalism and carry that into my presentation. But I definitely did not think I would be a super sport presenter or land in Ghana and people would know who I am. Unbelievable scenes.
That's
Come
crazy.
on. Yeah.
Yeah, you got big fans and all that. I remember one scene, was it last year, the gentleman said he wanted to take a picture with you. You have a lot of fans everywhere scattered.
But you know what the thing is? Negativity is louder. So the people who feel entitled, who want to say horrible things about you, they always make sure you know, and they do that on social media regularly. So when I do get a nice message, or when there is an incident like happened at the Cape Town City game, that's my hometown, by the way, Cape Town. Okay. So a fan had written on the board that he wants to take a picture. That was amazing. But, big love from the people out in Ghana. We're on billboards here, by the way, because of Women of Valor.
Great.
I landed and I was like, hey, is that me? Wow.
Your face all over.
Yeah, but I've received a lot of love. And you know what? I appreciate it. I don't take that for granted. For someone to come up to you and say, I like what you do. You give me encouragement to also try and do better. I want to follow in your footsteps. I always tell people to make their own path though, but to see that and to hear that in a country where you've only been for a couple of days is remarkable.
It's a big deal. As I stated, I'm not going to lie. I'm also a young journalist, and then I love what you do. When I put down the people that inspire me, your name is definitely on there. Yeah, great. You're doing amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
So for a young girl who says she wants to be like Julia, she wants to be on the big screens. Of course, you've been through it all. What would your advice be to that woman or that young girl?
So when I was growing up, there was no one who looked like me on TV doing sports. So it's not something I thought was possible or something I wanted to do or one day I'm going to be there. It's not. I came into it because of my hard work, and the more I worked, the more I found opportunities. And I've always said, it doesn't matter your connections. It doesn't matter how you get into a place. The only way you're going to stay and make a name for yourself is through work ethic. And it doesn't matter. I don't care about being the prettiest or looking the nicest or sounding the best or having the best clothes. I care about being the hardest worker in the room. And that is what has got me to where I am today. Okay. So whether you want to be a journalist or you want to be an actor or you want to be, just thinking about the women who were at Women of Valor yesterday, you want to be a lawyer or whatever, you're not going to get anywhere without putting in the hours. Because nothing worth having will come easy. And you maybe it's not about studying or working hours. Maybe it's about the thinking that you do about what you want to do, or maybe it's you're putting in effort, whatever that is, and there'll be hours and hours of perfecting what you want to do. And then also just be open, change path if things are not working for you, or be true to yourself. Because if you want to be a journalist or you want to be a presenter in sport because there's space and there's more space, they need more women, but you don't love sport, you'll be found out very quickly. So yeah, follow your passions and all of that advice that we always get, follow your passions. But just put in the work. There's no substitute for it.
So you mentioned of work ethics, you have to like what you want, and then building the long hours that you have to put in before, because it's not rosy. Some people, I'm sure some people hit your DM like, oh, I want to be like you, I want to mentor you. I don't know if you get more of that, but then for popular personalities here in Ghana, they always talk about women hit their DMs, like direct messages, and like, I want you to be. Sometimes it's just overwhelming. It's a lot. You cannot attend to all of them at the same time. But then for you, for someone who might watch this interview, what are the values that one must possess as a woman who is really destined? You want to get into this career, you want to get into this space, whether male dominated or not.
So the one thing I'll tell you is, women hit up my DMs. What did you study? What must I study? Where must I study? Please, people, I'm not Google. Go and look it up. Go and do your own research. You have to, anything you want to do, you have to be educate yourself on the subject matter, right? So that's the first thing.
Right.
I'm also not a recruiter for universities. I don't know what the options are, where you can study, what your grades are like. So I can never answer that. Mm-hmm. But what gets me every time is women saying, so must I really study the whole 4 years? Or isn't there another way? Do I have to study?
There's no shortcut.
Well, we live in an age of instant gratification. I think the idea that you're going to make it because you're pretty, pretty lasts for like 5 minutes on TV, and then what else do you have? So you have to have substance, you have to have passion for this thing, because we work on weekends. I work at 9 to 5. I work weekends, we travel, holidays, people are working. We are working here, So you have to be really passionate, because if you don't love it, you will resent those hours. You won't like it. Your camera ladies are standing in the sun on what day is today? Wednesday morning. They'd rather be in the pool.
Exactly.
But it's not always pleasant. The things you see on Instagram that we post, the interviews, or I went on a drive with a Formula E driver in a Porsche up Table Mountain. Amazing. But hey, that's not every day. So understand that it's not all glamour. And if you want glitz and glamour, then maybe this is not the best place for you. It's not the best industry. You have to be prepared. That is the most important thing. Because as women, unfortunately, we have to work twice as hard for people to think we are half as good as men. Even though people know you and they think, oh, she's good for a woman, or she's the best woman, or she's the nicest woman to look at. It's always going to be like that for us, unfortunately. Just accept it, but make sure you represent. Because if they're giving you a chance as a woman, there are like thousands of other women who also love to get the chance. So you have to represent, you have to do well, so that the next time there's a woman, they won't hesitate to give her an opportunity. A woman.
Great.
Yeah.
Now, but just because you said that, you've been in the space, you've owned the space, what has been some of your greatest challenge in the, you talking sports, being in what they term as a male-dominated area?
I think, firstly, I was saying this at Women of Valor yesterday. I think everything is male-dominated. Okay, the world is run by men, unfortunately. Unfortunately, because we are not leading the world. Maybe just the beauty industry is female-dominated. So,
yeah, even with now, there are a lot of men getting in there. Yeah.
So I think that the words that I say or the advice that I have, based on my experiences, I'm finding that it's not just restricted to sports. Women in corporate, women in politics, we all experience the same thing. So just accept that this system was not designed for you, right? So that's the first thing. And I think you have to understand that you are different and you're going to be different. So some of my highlights have sometimes come because I'm a woman. And I don't mean because I look nice today. I mean, I think about the interview with Coach Pitso Mosimane. That was an iconic interview. Okay. They were playing Wydad Casablanca. He was the coach of Sundowns at the time. And there was some stuff going on off air. And they were making some racist comments. And we didn't really pick that up on camera. So while I was doing my interview with him, Sundowns won, by the way. And one of the guys from Wydad Casablanca came and stood by the camera and was having a proper go at him and saying really ugly things. And he lashed out. They called the interview "Sort Him Out" because that's what he was shouting. Hey, sort him out. And I'm standing there with our microphone while everything is happening. We're live. And that was one of my greatest moments because I think, firstly, I understood that I have to take control of the situation or they'll go to break.
Great.
Right. And I'll lose it. Secondly, actually, this is number one. I was thinking, I'm going to become a meme. I'm going to become a joke on the internet. I'm going to trend for everywhere. Being ridiculous. I have to take control of the situation. And I did. I stepped up and I explained what was happening. All adrenaline based that you can't plan for something. You can never plan for live TV. But afterwards, when he calmed down, the empathy that I had, I think as a woman, naturally,
you have a lot
made it a little bit easier for him to calm down and come back to the moment and answer the question. Sometimes you find that coaches as well you're more asking the human side of things because you're a woman and they're more likely to be a little bit more open. We have that natural nurturing thing which makes our interviews a little bit different to how our male counterparts would conduct it. Yeah, I think we can be a combination of strong and hard-hitting, but also empathetic.
We're all things. We can do all the things.
Yeah.
You talked about when you want to own your space, someone says, I want to be like Julia. You have to really have knowledge of what you're doing. So when you're talking sports, you know what you're talking. You'll be found wanting if you just think it's just the pretty face and all that. So I just want to find out from you, how did the passion for sports develop? Was it from your dad? Because with me, I kind of started from home. My dad was watching football and all that. Yeah. How did yours develop?
Yeah, same. Just having something in common with my dad, something to talk to my dad about, going to live matches in Cape Town, watching Premier League games in Cape Town, where I grew up. And then sports is, the more you know, the more you want to know. And so, you become obsessed because now it's opened up a whole new group of people that you chat to. The boys at school. Mm-hmm. I was always the only girl, the only Arsenal fan at school, able to talk to them. And yeah, I think I cannot believe that someone is paying me to watch football. Like my bum is in the butter. How did I get so lucky? Yeah.
I see. Great. We're still talking to Julia. We'll take a quick break. This is Sports Check on GhanaWeb TV. I'm Paula Amaboni. We'll be back shortly. welcome back. This is Sports Check on GhanaWeb TV. I'm seated with Julia Stewart. Julia, I was going through your Instagram and I chanced upon the post, like the best advice you received, just stay in your lane, comparison is the thief of joy. Does that still remain like one of your favorite advice?
Yeah. You know, people will try and say, oh, did you see what, hey Paula, did you see what your colleague is doing? Hey Paula, did you see your colleague's got this and that's happening? And you'll see on Instagram, oh, this one got to go to this game, or this one got to interview that, or she owns this item of clothing, or she has this kind of bag. And you'll spend your whole day miserable. Like, it's so important to understand. I've said this in the early part of the interview. The things that are meant for you won't pass you by. It's the hardest thing to know and to believe. How come someone's getting this right? When is my turn? Like, the things that are meant for you will come for you. And the older I get, the more I work in this industry, I think back to things I missed out on. Oh, why didn't I get to work on that tournament? But other things have come and maybe better suited to me. I saw an interview recently with Letitia Wright from Black Panther.
Yeah.
And I love this. She said, it's not rejection, it's redirection. And when you feel rejected or something that you wanted maybe isn't happening for you, it's very easy to compare yourself. But like the quote says, it's the thief of joy. You won't enjoy where you are right now.
Just stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane, honey. It's nice here. There's no traffic. You can drive however fast or slow you want to. Yeah, it's great.
It's still one of the best advice. I also love to say whatever got my name on it is not going to pass me by. It's something
Beautiful.
I say, but
yeah,
I love that you also said it too.
You have to be your own competition. When I started, those words, people will say, you know, this one, did you see what this one is doing? Oh, how come this one? And it's always women. You know, they divide and conquer is the way people try and deal with women. We also do it ourselves. We try and internalize it ourselves. But why? Can we also form a girls' club? Can we also change the culture from within? Can we also start to understand that things that are mine will be mine?
Exactly.
And maybe that's meant for me in that moment. Maybe something else wasn't meant for me.
Great.
Yeah, very important.
Yeah. So, Julia, coming from South Africa, going to the world stage, Super Sports International, would you say that the space is big enough to accommodate other women?
Yeah, 100%. There is so much space for everyone to shine, whether that be here in Ghana, on the Accra sports scene. I met so many TV broadcasters yesterday. So I know that there are a lot of women in sports, in this city, let alone this country. And we make a mistake. We think that there's only space for one woman to do well, but that's not true. There's space for everyone. And some people might be online, some people might be on TV, some
radio.
might be radio, some people might specialize in pitch side reporting, some people might specialize in studio anchoring, some might be great with podcasts. You just have to find what works for you and what you love.
Great. So who are some of the well-known female broadcasters? In Ghana, we say we have Juliet Bewa.
Yes, I know Juliet Bewa.
Juliet.
I was with her at the World Cup.
Yeah.
She was also doing some work for Supersport there. My friend Chisom Mbono Ezuke, she's from Nigeria. She is amazing. And what I love about her, she's so passionate about telling stories. And she is really passionate about telling Nigerian football stories. She produces as well, so I think she's brilliant. She's one I really look up to, her storytelling ability. And then I know that cricket isn't big here, but Cass Naidu is a powerhouse of a woman. She's South African.
Okay.
She works cricket on Supersport, and she does tours and stuff for Sky as well. Cass runs a foundation and a set of women's awards called the G Sports for Girls Awards, and she is phenomenal. The way she started the website to tell women's sports stories, women in sports, the way she started the awards, and it grows year on year. I actually hosted it last year.
Okay.
I don't know how she does it because she has a family and she does this job herself, by the way, and then she still runs a foundation and does all these amazing things that highlights and bring the profile of women's sport more into the spotlight. So I really look up to her, not because she's a fantastic broadcaster, which she is, but because she's using her power for good to help others come up, to mentor others. and also to put women's sport on the map.
Great. So there are a lot of women who are also in sports, doing things that would also, more of encourage young people who want to get into the field. Now, I know, let's talk more of women football. You've covered the FIFA Women's Cup and all that. It's a big deal and all that. But I just want to find out, do you think how possible, because some people, I'm not even going to say some people, I would testify that when it comes to the Men World Cup, there's a lot of eyeballs and all that. There's a whole lot, everybody want to know what is going on. What can we do to also ensure that when it gets to the FIFA Women's World Cup, we get a lot of attention and all the euphoria that it is, like, do better?
I do think that the FIFA Women's World Cup was fantastic the last time around, and I think the fallback from that, we saw Spain promising to put more money into their local league. And I know that in China as well, in the USA, they were going to put more money into it because the women's FIFA Women's World Cup were getting the highest number of TV viewers that they ever had before. The Women's Euros final was sold out at Wembley last year. I think there is improvement. Sponsors are stepping up to the plate. It's not even about equality. Although teams like this American women's team deserve to get the same amount, if not more, money than the men's team.
I saw that
because
news.
they won multiple World Cups. Last time, I know the US was back at the World Cup at Qatar 2022, but before that, they didn't even qualify. So in those cases, yes, they need to be rewarded. It's definitely about sponsorship and TV. And how it works is the more women in leadership roles in sponsorship can decide where the money goes. The more women in leadership roles in TV can decide where the money goes, where the rights go, what they're going to show. And I was pleasantly surprised at the number of men who messaged me to say, loved your work on the FIFA Women's World Cup semi-final or final. Great that they're watching. I think we're changing it, not even slowly anymore. I think female athletes are becoming household names, already, not just because there's a daughter in the house who plays football. But I want to say that the ICC Women's T20 Cricket World Cup in South Africa was just completed. Sold out stadiums. Sold out stadiums. And that is all about the marketing. Great. That is also all about the ICC as a sporting body saying, we need sellouts. And they've managed it. It was phenomenal. There was obviously a lot of celebration, a lot of hype, a lot of excitement because South Africa reached the final, the Momentum Proteas. They lost, unfortunately, but it was their first ever final. So, if we can repeat that, if we can replicate that in football, mind you, Barcelona was reaching record crowds for their Women's Champions League matches. And so I think we're getting there. I don't think women's football, maybe in Africa, the mentality is still busy changing. Yeah, maybe that's what you mean. But I think worldwide, we are getting there, girl.
Great. For the international, I think we are getting there and all that. But then locally on our continent, what can we do to get more eyeballs and all that?
We need to get women in power, in positions of power. And the women who are in positions of power need to back women. Because sometimes you find that it's harder. Like coming up, I was having this discussion with Nana Aba and she said to me, the people who have helped her in her career, when she thinks back, it's been a lot of men, like giving her a show, giving her a space, or encouraging her. Then I thought back to my own career. Robert Marawa, that's the person who said to me, be on my show. That's the first chance I got on TV. That's where people first saw me. My first news editors were men.
Wow.
So why are we not changing that in this day and age? The women, the people who've made my life difficult at work, unfortunately, have been women. So why are women not helping other women and women's sports, the people who are big sponsors? At CAF, we have women who are involved. Why are they not doing more? In my own country, I have to say, women's teams, every professional team does not have a women's team as well. And that's long past time for that to happen, Mamelodi Sundowns doing so well in the CAF Women's Champions League. They won it, they were in the final. They represent, but not every team in our professional league has a women's team.
We have to do better. If it's starting from the stations, positions and all that, we have to do better. And as I say, if we get to the top, we also have to create room for other women to follow that path. But do you see a female head in CAF maybe one time soon?
I don't know about our attitude within this continent. I don't know if we're ready for it.
We're ready for it.
Not that there's no woman who can lead.
We have a lot.
It's not that.
We have.
Are we ready
To.
for it? To accept?
Great.
I don't know. What do you think?
I think we are born ready. It's just that some people might think that, oh, she's not qualified. The whole thing that comes with it. But then trust me, if we're given that position, we can do way better.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not that women are not ready. It's the mentality of people, men and women, to say, can a woman do it? Can a woman lead? What? And the strange thing is, she won't just be judged on the job she's doing. She'll be judged on who she looks, who she associates with, what her hair's like, what clothes she's wearing. That's what we still face.
But I love your style. Come to clothes. I love your style, the way you style. But wait, but between sneakers and heels, what are you going to go for? Depends.
On the occasion. If I can get away with wearing sneakers every day, I will do that. Obviously not now. I'm wearing flip-flops right now, sandals, because it's so hot here.
In Ghana.
But yeah, especially in the World Cup, I curated my own look.
Yeah.
With help from our Supersport stylist. We have help. We have an amazing stylist at Supersport.
Great.
Her name is Taryn. She doesn't just do style, she does image consulting.
Great.
So you say, this is what I want to look like. This is the brand I want to project.
And she creates it.
Yeah.
I love your style,
Thank
definitely.
you.
If I was supposed to rate your closet, I would not waste a minute. Yeah.
It's difficult. I buy so much clothes because it's work clothes and real life clothes. And yeah, if I have like 5 different black blazers because, you
have
on TV
to
3 or 4 times a week. So
exactly.
you can't wear the same. Taryn won't let us wear one outfit twice in a season.
Oh.
She's crazy like that. No one remembers. I remember. That's what she'll say.
The image is important too.
Very. I've had to learn that. I never knew that. Starting out in this business, I thought,
anything goes.
and we have to wear those boxy big blazers and a shirt. We are not men. And men know it. We are not men. Even if you dress like a man, they know.
I get
love
that.
what you're wearing as well, though. So
Thank you.
I think you have your own thing going on.
Thank you, Julia.
Yeah.
Now, before we wrap, I just want to find out, who are your favorite Ghanaian players?
Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey.
Okay.
I hope he wins the Premier League
Me
this
too.
season.
I'm also an Arsenal fan, so
Amazing.
that makes us
Arsenal
too.
fans are so traumatized. People think we care about being top and falling off top. We are just enjoying life.
I felt like we were so close to it, but hey,
No. I'm just enjoying that we're playing beautiful football and winning. I have not seen that in a long time. I was at the Emirates Stadium and even to watch Arsenal beat Man United.
Okay.
And even the mood in the stadium is just different.
Crazy.
So, love Thomas Partey. Riyad Mahrez, I think, is one who is very underrated in that Man City team. But he's phenomenal.
Great.
Mo Salah, of course.
Mo Salah too.
Just African footballers in general, and Sadio Mane.
Sadio.
Hey, what happened when he left
Sadio.
Liverpool? Right. So then from Ghana as well, of course, my friend Asamoah and your legend. Absolutely adore him. What a guy. He's the reason I'm here. He put me in touch with Nana
great.
Asamoah. Yes.
Shout out to Asamoah.
Yeah, shout out to Baby Jets. I think Kudus.
Mohamed Kudus too.
Phenomenal.
He's one of our star players.
And he's going to make a really, really big, not that Ajax isn't big, but he's going to make an even bigger move. I think Tariq Lamptey.
He told me to have an interview.
He told me to have jollof rice here. Yes, we were interviewing him for Supersport and Premier League. So those are some of the ones I love currently. Thomas Partey, number 1 for me at the moment.
Okay.
What he's doing this season and the role he's playing is just phenomenal.
Great. Then the women footballers for the Nigerian footballer who plays for Barcelona, Asante Oshoala.
Yes.
Yeah. Some people think that they haven't given her flowers. Do you think that she's celebrated enough?
I think so. I think she
so?
is. You know what it is? It's Putellas is winning all the Ballon d'Ors and she's winning all the FIFA awards. So it feels like Asante Oshoala isn't getting the same kind of recognition.
But she's an amazing player.
No,
She is
superstar.
amazing.
I don't think anyone doesn't think that she is.
Great.
We have some phenomenal female players from South Africa, Banyana ladies, who are doing such big things and they are playing internationally. It is brilliant to see, man. Brilliant to see. Like we have Tembi Kgatlana who's playing in America right now.
Okay.
There's Jermaine Seposenwe who's doing well. There's Janine van Beek who's doing well. There's Linda Mutlalo.
List
all our
goes
girls
on.
are just making waves overseas and they are household names. I'm not ashamed to say when I started, and maybe only knew Portia Modise, I could name 1 or 2 South African female players' names. Now, probably the whole starting 11 I can do.
I see.
Amazing,
Great.
amazing. That's change. That's change. If a woman who is speaking on football can tell you that,
A lot. That's change.
Yeah.
So great. Final one. Who is the GOAT in football? Let me just get it from Julia.
I think this is, I'm sorry, with all due respect, it's a silly question.
Really?
Because
The
people-
debate?
Yeah.
The GOAT debate,
Do you
know.
know
So
how blessed we are to be living in an era when there is both Messi and Ronaldo? Messi's not paying me to say he's the GOAT. I watch both and enjoy both. The records that they have been setting, the fact that they are still playing at this age and maturing like fine South African wine, it is remarkable to me. Just shows that the mind is the most powerful thing. Some of the goals that we've seen them score, some of the records that we've seen them break, long-standing records from men like Diego Maradona, from men like Pele, those kinds of things that we are seeing and witnessing right now. I'm getting involved in those debates.
yeah. So even with the GOAT, it doesn't really have to boil down to Messi or Ronaldo. Like for you mentioned Pele or not. Pele still is my greatest, But the current one would just choose Ronaldo or Messi. But yeah, before we wrap up, Julia, your final words, your advice to women as we celebrate International Women's Day. So a woman who wants to be in a male-dominated space and all that. What would your advice be to that person?
It's such a hard one. How do you sum it up? It's going to be difficult. There is no easy path to it.
Great.
And as long as you maintain your integrity, as long as you do what you are comfortable with, as long as you give your best every day,
You've got it.
you've got this. Yeah,
Great.
you absolutely have got this. That's all. There's no secret to it. There's no special spice,
Do it.
no recipe. No, it's just about doing you, because your power is that no one is like you. There's only one you.
Thank
So
you.
just show up every day. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Julia. It was a pleasure. It was an honor sitting with you to,
Thank you for having
talk
me.
everything sports and all that. Yeah, great,
Thank you.
great. So I did this with Julia Stewart. She is broadcaster with Sports International. We had an amazing conversation with Talk Women's Sports. It was a 360. I know that you really enjoyed this interview, special one on Sports Check. I am Paula Amabruni. Thanks for doing the watching.
I want you so bad, Alpha Cracker. I want you. I wanna say yes, I can't resist. I want you. Ooh, I want you, Alpha Cracker. I want you so bad, Alpha Cracker. Don't me call one casa.
Alpha goodness rich in milk and butter. In Alpha Cracker. Yummy and deliciously crunchy.
But I can't resist you.
Alpha Crackers. Simply irresistible.
This advert is FDA approved.
Sweetheart, be mindful of your health. Dear products na dear makeup. I welcome you to Sigma Health and Beauty. You can call us the Beauty Embassy. We pursue beauty more revealed with quality makeup products. There is only one place. The Sigma Health and Beauty 2022 Ghana Makeup Awards Beauty Retail Business of the Year. Of course, we are the defending champions. World-class makeup brands and Kwanyet on. You name it. Maybelline, Dark and Lovely, House of Tara, and many more. Your professionalism in the beauty industry is unmatchable. Brami ensure the proper way of applying our products. Sigma Health and Beauty, Yewa Accra, Makola, Georgina Stores, and Rollins Park, Gate 4. Fryer 0248 138 596 and 0201 408 186. Or visit our online shop at www.beautyavenuegh.com. Sigma, your beauty, our joy.
Luckiest, luckiest, luckiest. Luck is everywhere for everyone, yeah. Luckiest. Star 712.
How to play and win online. Step 1. Go to the URL or website www.theluckiestafrica.com. Step 2. Click on Ready to Play and register. Step 3. Fill out your valid details to register. Step 4. Enter and confirm the OTP sent to your email. Step 5. Purchase your ticket or generate a random ticket. Step 6. Enter the ticket amount you want to buy. Step 7. Follow the steps to buy tickets for yourself or someone. Step 8. Confirm your ticket and choose your payment option. Step 9. Follow the steps to make payment. Step 10. Verify your phone number. I am Mr. Good Luck and I'm on a mission to spread luck all around.
Nurse, Baba, driver, bouncer, friends, teacher, banker. Star 712 hash. You could be the luckiest.
Everyone needs the perfect snack to munch on during a fun moment.
Wow.
Enjoy the tasty McBerry Twist cupcakes, deliciously baked and packaged for a sweet treat. Premium quality cakes baked with love for all, enriched in butter and milk.
Yummy. Oh,
McBerry Twist cupcakes, simply irresistible. Try one today.
This advert is FDA approved.
As we speak, nursing trainees in Ghana for the past 18 months have not been paid their allowances, and it's made life very unbearable for
18 months.
18 months, almost a year and 6 months now, and it's made life very unbearable for our nursing trainee folks.
Welcome to another edition of Say It Loud here on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Eche Atisu. My guest is the NUCS President, Daniel Cheme Opon. We speak about a number of issues concerning NUCS, and we're drawing some of the conversations around the recent spillage of water from the Akumbuam and Akumbuam dams. Welcome once again. Daniel, NUCS, how is NUCS doing?
All right, first of all, we want to extend the greetings to all the over 12.5 million Ghanaian students across the length and breadth of the country. The National Union of Ghana Students is 57 years now, and has been the main citadel of positive advocacy for the past years. We've had a lot of leaders leading this country, having their trainings from the National Union of Ghana Students, and so far I think the union has played a lot of pivotal roles in a lot of happenings in our country now, having taken into consideration the establishment of Get Fund, Student Loan Trust Fund, allowances in the various nursing and teacher training associations, and other interventions and subventions administered by the National Union of Ghana Students. So I think so far we are doing well. This is the 57th NUCS administration, and we are also contributing our quota as part of a lot of positive advocacies we've outlined, and a lot of good works we are doing for the good students of this country.
57 years, 12.5 million population. That's close to an entire country's population.
Exactly.
But you are obviously bedeviled with a number of issues.
That's true.
Why is this Akumbuam dam spillage a big issue for you now? How does it concern NUCS in any way?
All right, so as I rightly said, NUCS contains students or encompasses students from the basic level to the PhD level. It was quite worrying and disheartening when we got to know of the incident of the man-made Akumbuam and pond spillage. So because we concern ourselves with the students, and normally when we got to know that the students are finding themselves in this tangent, we had to rush there to know how best the National Union of Ghana Students could find solutions in helping these students out there. I think as a union that concerns ourselves with welfare issues, and now our students have find themselves in that tight corner, we have to just rush there and find solutions in helping them. Upon getting there, because we had heard of a lot of news, a lot of agencies bringing a lot of figures on the happenings, but we wanted to get there so that we ourselves get to know the actual challenges.
Yourself on the ground.
On the ground.
You went to, which places did you go to?
We went to Mepe, we went to places in Central Town, and we went to Bunu East District, Bunu East region, especially Pru District, to actually know the challenges out there because of the flooding. So,
Pru East has not been affected by the floods. Is it the Akosombo? Pru will be from where?
Pru will be from the Pons village.
Okay, so Pru has also been affected?
Has been affected, and we're having a list of schools, over 9,414 students have been affected by, how do I call it, the spillage. And now, in total, upon getting there, we got to know about 19,743 students have been affected by this spillage.
This is in total?
In total.
From across how many regions?
Across the Volta region and parts of Eastern region, and also the Brun East region.
Okay.
Yes.
19,743
specifically. Students have been affected by this. And out of these 19,000, we have 80% of them who have displaced their educational materials, which has to do with their learning materials, school uniform, and the others.
Because obviously the flats.
Exactly. It's just fewer who are having their materials as we speak.
And schools to have been affected?
Schools, we have 71 schools from KG to junior high schools who have been greatly affected by the flood. 71 schools, and we are still counting.
Okay.
And as we speak, upon getting to the grounds, you got to know that some of these students, because of their displaced materials, they are sitting down with no school uniforms, just home attires. Some of them are just having 2 attires, and they are wearing it throughout the week. Teachers are nowhere to be found. Teachers who are currently teaching them are community folks who are voluntarily teaching these kids. Some of them are SHS leavers, which in a way doesn't augur well for the educational system. Because already GES have a curriculum system that they are using. So these SHS leavers, though they are doing a very fantastic job in fitting the space of these teachers, but as far as the educational ecosystem is concerned, it doesn't really augur well. So we thought it wise, as the National Union of Ghana Students, as part of just the normal day, we will come there with our educational materials, our books, and all those kind of things. But one pertinent and salient point we want to tackle has to do with the teachers teaching them. So we reached out to our students community and our teachers community so that at the end of the day we can all come back and help.
Okay.
In a country
let me just hold you for a bit. Now, Nukes, of course, you take care of, look at the affairs of students and all that, but why should this be your headache and not that of the Ministry of Education, for instance, and GS of the sort? Why does it have to take or concern Nukes in particular to be doing all this analysis, going around trying to run an assessment of what is happening?
All right, so we've engaged the ministry, we've engaged GES, we've engaged the Minister of Education and even the Director of Education Service, GES. Well, at the time we went there, the minister had already come earlier on to meet the teachers on how best they can quickly come back to the classroom and also restore normalcy. But as we speak, the teachers are greatly affected by this particular thing. And always we say that since these students, the academics of these students we value it so much, we couldn't sit for the academic life to be truncated. So as part of a preliminary plan we are going to put in place to help mitigate the challenge before the Ministry of Education and the GES brings, we thought it wise to also send some of our teachers. We have our teachers out there who are doing nothing and are on any day willing to go and teach. At a point we thought, since volunteerism in a way is gradually leaving the scene, we thought we weren't going to get enough teachers to volunteer to go and teach these kids for free. But as we speak, when we opened it up, we are having over 231 teachers or volunteers who have applied to go and teach these kids for free for the next 1 month. So within the space of 1 month, if GES or the Ministry of Education, their teachers come back, then we leave the scene and then they continue.
So what happened to the original teachers, those who were there before the spillage? Have they left the areas or what?
Well, currently as we speak, per our search, most of them are lives around, and they've been hugely affected by the spillage and also the flood. So as we speak, the ministry and the Ghana Education Service is still putting plans in place to make sure their lives are well managed so that they can come back to the classroom.
So it means that
teach.
Emotionally they are not at that point where they can
at
return
all.
to them.
Emotionally, psychologically, they are not really fit. Even the students themselves, I think the Nooks Health team also putting something together that we could psych these students, looking at the stress they've been through, so that we could have a very serene atmosphere and also serene mindset for academic life. So,
but then now there are a lot of people who are focused on supporting the flood victims. We've seen a number of people travel, go and show support to these people.
That's true.
Is that not enough to help with the situation?
All right, so we went there. Sometimes most of the things happening on social media, you get to the grounds and you don't see that kind of connection. Our students, as we speak, most of them, though I've seen a lot of organizations donating books, donating all those kind of things to them, which is very novel. Most of our students in certain areas, as we speak, are not, there's no teaching, there's nothing going on, because there are areas teachers cannot access that place. So we are now even creating camps. Okujeto Ablokado is doing very well. Honorable Roosevelt of Central Town is also doing extremely well, which on any day they are even willing to give us accommodation for the teachers we'll be bringing. But when you get to some of these areas, there's nothing going on. So we are looking at how best we could even set up camps, because they are per studies. They are saying the flood is going to take almost 1 month to 3 months before everything dries up. So we can't sit aloof and wait till the thing dries up before we return everything to normalcy. We'll have to put structures in place to make things go. So as we are working on bringing everything to normal, we are also making sure academic and other social lives is also ongoing. So now the only thing we are seeking from various organizations, I know they've made a lot of donations. Ours is specifically going to educational materials. Now we've gathered a lot of clothes, we've gathered thousands of exercise books, and surprisingly, over 3,200 of the numbers I made mention of are complaining of not having hygiene materials. And the girls who are in there don't have sanitary pads and sanitary materials for the upkeep within this short while. 0.62% of these kids are complaining of sexually being abused during these processes, because when you get there...
Wait, let's hold it right there. Now, who is abusing who?
When you get to the places these students sleep,
okay,
they are sleeping in the same room, male, female.
So the camps, or where they are,
camps.
They are being kept.
Yes,
those who have been displaced.
Exactly, they are camps. 0.62 of these people who are in those places are complaining of being sexually abused.
And where are you getting your figures from?
Okay, we work with Child Rights International, who are also helping us with figures and everything.
And these figures are from Child Rights.
Child Rights. That's from Child Rights, where the accessibilities we made with them.
That girls are being abused?
Abused sexually. 0.62 of these huge numbers I've made mention of. So these are genuine concerns we are facing, and at a point, aside the donations we are making, we are just calling on all governmental agencies, we are calling on all individuals to partner the National Union of Ghana Students. As we speak, we have teachers ready, and I must thank Ghana Post for the good things they are doing for us. They are ready to give us buses to bus the volunteer teachers to the locations we'll be making the deployment. But the only thing we need now is how we can fend for these teachers when they start the teaching process. We don't have the enough funds to secure their food systems, the logistics they'll be needing to facilitate their teaching process and all that. So we are just calling on all organizations, we are calling on all individuals, as they are helping the students out today, they should reach out to the National Union of Ghana Students to embark on this novel project.
So that means that yours is just redirecting how the support is going to the Volta region and other affected places.
That's true.
So that you can get your members also properly tackled for. But apart from the things you've done, you've traveled there, you've gathered the data and things like that. Nooks itself, you've also provided teachers for them. Are school activities going on?
In those places?
Yes, all the places that have been affected.
Yes, school activities are ongoing, especially when you go to Mepe and some of the places. When you get there, I think the MP is doing a fantastic job. He's organized the students, though they are under trees, they are not having proper marker boards and all those things, but we are still improvising and helping academic life to ongo. But other places in the Mepe, in the North Town and Central Town areas, nothing is ongoing, which our concerns as the National Union of Ghana Students is to help quicken and also fasten our ways to help make sure the educational lifestyle of these kids are not truncated by sending our teachers there to go and just improvise. Though conditions there are that bad, we just go and just improvise and just start teaching these kids. We won't mind sleeping on the floor to make sure we are teaching these kids, to make sure things are really going on well for them.
It's interesting to hear how you are willing to even get uncomfortable so that you can even help these people. All right, we'll continue the conversation. I know there are a number of other related Nooks conversations we need to have. So when we return from this break, we'll speak about that. I'm still here with Daniel Cheme Opon, Nooks president. We'll be back shortly.
I want you so bad, Alpha Cracker. I want you. I wanna say yes, I can't resist. I want you. Ooh, I want you, Alpha Cracker. I want you so bad, Alpha Cracker.
Have a goodness rich in milk and butter in Alpha Cracker. Yummy and deliciously crunchy.
But I can't resist you.
Alpha Crackers, simply irresistible.
This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back. My conversation is with the Nooks president, Daniel Cheme Opon. Daniel, now Akosombo issues, I believe that we've tackled a number of those issues, but those are not the biggest of the issues that Nooks is facing. I know there are issues to do with some of your members in, for instance, nursing training colleges, and their arrears that have not been paid. What's the situation like right now?
All right, thank you. So I think we are a whole of list of issues we'll be tackling in the coming days. I think how the nursing training allowances, teacher training allowances, how our hostel prices are skyrocketing each and every time, and I think so far there've not been any pragmatic steps taken towards it, and our students are now sleeping in libraries and other places. As we speak, nursing trainees in Ghana for the past 18 months have not been paid their allowances. And it's made life very unbearable for
18 months.
18 months, almost a year and 6 months now, and it's made life very unbearable for our nursing training folks in the various.
How many nursing training? Training nurses are we talking about?
All right. So as we speak, we are having over 86 plus nursing trainees institutions in Ghana.
86 plus.
Yes,
okay.
Nursing trainees institutions in Ghana, and we are having huge numbers in these institutions, but. Now, these students, they are not on the student loan trust fund, so they can't apply loans because of their allowances. And now the allowances have not been paid for the past 18 months. We clearly understand how hard situations have become in this country. As part of constructive ways of engaging stakeholders, I think our constituent leaders, that is the Ghana Nurses and Midwifery Association, engaged the Minister of Health. We've engaged them on countless occasions. Nooks, as the National Union of Ghana Students, have also had a lot of press conferences to address the need or the urgency with which the ministry and the Ministry of Health and Ministry of Finance to attach in paying our nursing training allowance. One worrying thing is, you see, when you get to these nursing trainees, the allowances are not coming. But one issue we also have is their school fees keep skyrocketing. And now a lot of our students in the nursing training community cannot pay their school fees any longer.
Do they use the arrears, there's the training allowances to pay school fees?
Yes, we have a lot of these students who use it to subsidize their fees. But now the allowances are not coming, and the fees also keep skyrocketing. And as we speak, we have some nursing trainees that pays as huge as 5,000 cedis a semester. So within a
Are
whole...
those for private?
No, government institutions.
5,000?
5,000.
A semester?
A semester.
5,000 Ghana
5,000 Ghana cedis.
Which kind of institutions? Any names that come?
Yes, we have a list of the institutions per the information provided.
But is there any of those institutions that you readily remember that students are paying 5,000?
Yes, we are almost 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, and I think upon engaging the ministry, saying they are engaging the parliament to have a streamlined fees for all these nursing trainees. Because when it comes to the universities, you see, we have streamline fees. All universities are paying a specific amount of fee.
Which the nursing
training that is not really happening.
How about teacher training colleges?
For teacher training, there's a streamlined fees.
But nursing training colleges,
there's nothing happening of that sort. So we are just our engagement with the minister, per the things we outlined. We made it clear to him that if possibly there could be talks with Parliament so that they could, if it has to go through the law, and then we have a stringent kind of plan we are using that all nursing trainees will be using.
So that cuts across all
nursing trainees, so that it doesn't seem like a dwindling fees from various institutions. It's really worrying. Now most students can't pay allowances that they are supposed to even use to subsidize is also not coming. You see, in the past, in the 90s or in the 2000s when the allowances were introduced, most people entered teacher training, most people entered nursing training because those were the means they were going to use in paying their school fees. And most of our senior nurses, our senior teachers we see in this country all paid their fees out of their allowances. So we are just pleading. He has assured us, the Minister for Health has assured the Ghana Nurses and Midwifery Association and also the National Union of Ghana Students that within the next 2-3 weeks, their allowances will be paid. He's had clearance from the Ministry of Finance and they are hoping that nursing training allowances will be paid. We are also looking forward that as part of the budget reading, it will be included that the nursing training allowances will be paid.
But 18 months is a long time.
It's a very long time.
And you are confident all of these monies will be paid?
Yes. If 18 months, if the government is even able to meet us halfway, I think it will lessen the burden on our nursing trainees, students in various institutions, because it's becoming unbearable. They keep on calling, they keep on sending their worries and their issues to us, which on any day we at a point now can't even reach out to them.
Now, in the meantime, the money is not coming. I mean, as NUG's leadership and all that, how are you helping your members, especially the nurses, because they are the ones in focus now? How are you helping them to be able to get other streams of income? They are in school. I can understand that. Yeah. But are there other ways that they can also make monies beyond the usual sitting down waiting for some allowances from the state that's not coming at all?
One great thing we are doing is has to necessarily do with Get Fund. Yesterday I was on a panel with the Minister of Education and the administrator of Get Fund on how Get Fund can be uncapped. As we speak now, senior, Get Fund has been capped. And now specific amount of monies that are supposed to go to the fund is not going. As we speak, we charge 2.5% of VAT or tax from every Ghanaian that buys anything outside the country. And now those amount of monies which is supposed to go to the main statutory funds that funds education in this country, those amounts are not going anymore. And it's really worrying. So it was part of the discussions. Sometimes out of almost 8 billion that's supposed to come, it's only 1.8 billion that comes to this fund. And now Get Fund is the main source that also gives Student Loan Trust Fund the amount of monies which are being used to pay allowances and all that. Okay. And now the amount of monies that is due them has been slashed off by the ministry by the introduction of the new act, which has to do with the earmark capping of various organizations. So we are still calling on the government that as part of considerations, I'm told they'll be taking 17 institutions out of the capping. And we are calling them that Get Fund should be included in the institutions that are being taken out, because this government really values education. And if we really indeed values education, I think the main statutory funds that is funding education should not be touched. Now, it has rendered a lot of projects uncompleted in this country. It has rendered a lot of payment and scholarships that are supposed to go to large number of students. It's not really going. See, the introduction of free senior high schools, initially we used to have about 83,000 students in the various senior high schools. But the free senior high school introduction, we have, it has skyrocketed from 83,000 to 1.3 million Ghanaian students. It clearly tells you that our budget keeps increasing, our numbers keeps increasing. It clearly tells us that the budget allocation to the Ghana Education Trust Fund should also increase. If that does not happen, it puts the fund in a very tight condition, and now we the students receive these challenges, and at the end of the day, it puts us in a very tight corner, which does not realize the motto of NUGS, which is education is a right and not a privilege.
So now there are a lot of all the dynamics about what states is supposed to do, what the government is supposed to do, what NUGS is getting. You spoke about the FreeSHS thing and all that, but the FreeSHS is supposed to be a good thing. It's getting people.
The FreeSHS on any
and that
day
ties into your motto.
Yes, education is a right. On any day, we've been commending the government for the introduction of the free senior high school, because looking at the numbers from 83,000 to over 1.3 million, it clearly tells you in the life or in the stage we find ourselves in this country, if you only want to see some changes or some metamorphosis in the coming days, then we should take conscious effort in educating our young ones to take over. And it's a novel policy the government rolled out, though we encountered one or two challenges, which they are continuously doing well to address all those challenges. This is good. We are rather speaking on Get Fund, that now the numbers are increasing. Now we are giving you a lot of young people the opportunity to school. Then we should also be looking at the statutory funds that funds the education of these chunk of numbers we are putting into the system.
All right. Now, before we go, I don't know if there are any specific other news concerns that we might not have touched on that you want to quickly just speak about.
All right. Before I touch on that, with the Akosombo issue, we have a lot of channels that if any individual want to support the activities we do could reach out to us. You can reach out to the National Union of Ghana Students on 0543 169495, 0543 169495, or through our short code star 800 star 6363, star 800 star 6363, and all our bank details as well. Probably if you reach out to us, you'll be able to get in touch with you on all these, and also through our official mail, secretariat@nooks.org.gh, secretariat@nooks.org.gh. Any information, whatever thing you want to channel to us, will get to us. God willing, next year, the National Union of Ghana Students will be organizing one of the biggest student festivals in Ghana, which we are hoping to have it in Kumasi Sports Stadium or Accra Sports Stadium. During those processes, we are hoping to invite all presidential aspirants to also be there and also sell out their vision for the youth. If indeed they say the future is youth, we should be able to also know the good plans they have for Ghanaians and the larger community that has all the youth in there. That's the National Union of Ghana Students. We should be able to have them face on face, and then they roll out the good plans they have for us. We ask them questions and also invite other diaspora blocks, Nooks Canada, Nooks US, Nooks UK, and all the others to also join us in this celebration to foster unity as we enter into an election year.
All right, Daniel, thank you very much. Daniel Treme is the president of Nooks, and we've had a conversation about a number of issues, from the Akosombo Dam spillage, which has affected a number of their students, as well as other concerns regarding students in school, nursing training for that matter. Thank you once again for joining us here on Say It Loud on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Echi Atisu. Until another time, be kind to one another.
Every sex outside of marriage automatically destroys destinies?
Yes, has the potential to destroy destiny. Where we have a soul tie, where we have a spiritual bonding, where I carry part of you wherever I go, you carry part of me wherever you go, as a spouse.
Right there.
It's another day, another beautiful day, and welcome to Moans and Cuddles with me, Patricia Roxanne Hammond. Today we're discussing sex and your destiny. Do you know that there are certain people you're not supposed to sleep with? Some can destroy your destiny, others can even destroy your life just by one act of sex. And my guest is Reverend John Cato. He is the resident pastor of Charismatic Evangelistic Ministry. He's also a counselor, and he's going to give us all of these details. Who is the right person to sleep with? Is it just your partner, or maybe sex before marriage, youthful exuberance? A lot of people, you try this, try that, try this, try that, and look for the one that is good in bed. But do you know that in all of these, one can destroy your destiny, Welcome, Reverend.
Thank you.
Sex and destiny. What is so... Sex is sex.
Yes.
Would it be right for me to explain it like that sex is sex? So for us, the edge is there and you have somebody to sleep with and that's it. But how dangerous is it?
Yeah. Sex is more spiritual than physical. Sex is a God-ordained activity. And sex is what makes marriage to be consumed. That is why in the Jew setting, when you marry, for 1 year, you don't go to war, you don't work. You stay in the room with your spouse, your partner, because the marriage must be consumed. And until the act of sex is performed, there is no marriage. It is the act of sex that brings the two together and makes the marriage to be consumed.
But in this current day and age, sex is like drinking water.
That is the wrong understanding.
Yes. It will be good for
you know,
me
and everybody you have sex with, you carry a part of the person with you.
In which way?
Because you exchange life. Your sperm is your life. And whatever comes from the woman is also the woman's life.
What if there's a protection?
You have entered the person.
So
if you have not entered the person, there is nothing like sex.
But so first you've entered the person. That there's that connection.
Yes.
Whether you ejaculated or not.
You have entered. There is that thing that makes you one. And that is it. And the act of sex is the man penetrating the woman.
Then I want to say, I don't know if it will be wrong for me to say that there are people walking around with lots of...
Thank you. That's why they need deliverance.
Maybe.
You know, that is why there's a saying that it is very easy for exes to fall to each other than for new, fresh people who have met. That is why it is very dangerous to play around with your ex.
With your ex. Okay.
Because they already carry a part of you. There is already a certain bonding that you have. So it is very easy, no matter your status in life, whoever you have had a sexual encounter with, run away from them. I will not advise anybody to entertain their exes around them when they are married. Don't. It's too dangerous for you. It takes a little effort for you to fall for each other again. Little effort.
People make this excuse that you have no idea what the future holds, so you're supposed to keep them around just in case someday they might be in a better position to help you.
Yes, you may be a better position to help me, but there is to some extent.
Okay.
Even you being in a better position to help me, your help will endanger my future. Because my ex may be a managing director of a company and then gives me a job offer in that same institution. And it will happen that we may be traveling together on job schedules to execute certain assignments. Will it endanger my current marriage? Will it endanger my productivity and my progress? Will it endanger my Christian life if I'm a Christian? Will it cause me to fall or to do things I don't want to do? So even if it is for the future, that's why I'm keeping you within my space. There must be a set to some extent. You understand? And then also, there should not be a secret between me and you if you are my ex. There is nothing that happens after we are both married or we are broken up and find new love. There should be nothing that happens between us that should be a secret between me and you that my spouse or your spouse shouldn't know. If we are traveling because of work schedule, my spouse should know.
So, away from that, does that mean that irrespective of what the need might be at a particular moment or a particular time, it is still wrong to engage in a sexual activity with somebody who is also not your ex, but you know very well, maybe at that moment you are so much in need. The person wants to help you, but in exchange...
Do you know sex is a temporary thing?
Oh, yes.
But whatever that you may give in exchange for that sex may be a lifelong thing. And do you want to trade your pride for a temporal need that does not even have the power to determine your progress. Because for instance, you needed money to buy shoe because your friend is going to marry, and you thought that wearing a new shoe or a particular shoe to match a particular dress for that wedding would be nice. So for this reason, you fell to somebody. You had sex with somebody to get money to buy that shoe. And this person goes for the rest of their life with the notion and with the thought that they slept with you. And you wear this shoe and this shoe spoils, or the wedding comes to an end and you don't even have need of that shoe again. But you have exchanged your pride for a temporary thing.
And that connection, you guys
are that connection is there. It's a soul tie. Because sex is not only physical thing. Sex is so soulish. It touches your soulish realm. It touches your spiritual realm. That is why a good sex, you don't end a good sex with a certain atmosphere created around you. You understand? So sex is an act that affects our physical being, our soulish being, and our spiritual being. Please don't take it for granted. That is the only thing that God put in marriage that makes a difference when it comes to marriage. That I can have sex with a woman because she is my wife. The reason why I cannot have sex with the other person is because they are not my wife. No matter how close we may be, my sister can be very close to me. I can love my sister to bits and will not wish my sister to suffer anything evil or go through any difficulty. So I will work as hard as possible to provide for my sister. But I cannot have sex with my sister. I can only have sex with my wife. And that is the difference between my sister and my wife. That is the difference between my mother and my wife. I can love my mother. I work hard and I work extra hours to earn extra income because of my mother. I want to give my family and my mother a comfortable life. But I cannot have sex with my mother. I can only have sex with
that one. I know it's well understood when it comes to our setting, but you know, sex has become one lose a normal thing. Yeah, a few minutes.
It's a lack of understanding.
You can even go to the bathhouse anywhere.
Because we don't know what we lose.
Yes.
We lose a lot of things. You know, whenever you engage in sex, you may see it as a one-time something.
Yeah.
But the ripple effect can be very dangerous. In our day and our time, there are people who are selling sperms of people. And they sell the sperm for rituals in exchange of the person's destiny. So there are people who pay huge sums of money to buy sperms from commercial sex workers. They contract commercial sex workers to try and trap people of certain caliber and within a certain space. All they need is their sperm, because their sperm carries their soul. So when they get their sperm, they take it to the ritualist to exchange the person's destiny with theirs.
So in this case, somebody will ask, why? So does that mean it is wrong? Okay, could it be that we can sleep with other people, but maybe they're not supposed to sleep with sex workers?
Do you know what the other person is going to do with your act of sex with them?
So maybe because that person, you know, you're free, that person is your friend. Yeah, so you guys have that casual, cordial.
That is how you may see it.
Sex worker is on a different level, if I was saying.
Do you know people can be friends today but can be enemies tomorrow?
Yeah, it's possible.
So today they were friends. You had a casual sex activity. But tomorrow, depending on their need, they blackmail you with that act of sex that you had, that you may even have forgotten. But because of their selfish interest, they will blackmail you. They will send you a reminder of that act. And I'll tell you that if you don't pay such and such amount, or if you don't give them these offers and do these things for them, they will tell your spouse, or they will let it out for people to know that one time in your life you took advantage of them in their vulnerability. You slept with them, and that can shut and bring a close to your life's destiny, whatever stage you may be in. No matter how hard you fight.
So in this case, it is your boyfriend, girlfriend, we are dating. We do not want the states whereby, because we hear stories of people getting married and like, no, we never had any sexual encounter when we got married. But immediately we got married, I realized that, nah, this person ejaculates too quickly, or is not good, or doesn't initiate it, or doesn't even enjoy the whole process. So they advise themselves that it's better to, whilst in a relationship,
to test and see. So if you test and I ejaculate quickly, you will leave me because of ejaculation.
So they want to try.
So with all the greatness I have in me, with all the potential I have, for us to have a better life, because of ejaculation that can be worked on. Because ejaculation can be mental, it can be medical, it can be worked on. There can be medicines you take to delay your ejaculation.
And now
there can be psychological treatment for you that will help with your premature ejaculation. So it can be worked on. It doesn't affect our destiny.
So it is wrong for us to engage in a sexual act before marriage?
It is for your own good, because you don't know tomorrow. What if the person does it and leaves you tomorrow? So when they advise of abstaining from premarital sex, it is for our own good. So tomorrow we don't fall victim, or we don't feel used, or we don't feel betrayed. Because the reason why some people have stayed in bad relationship is because they were the acts of sex, and they feel like if they should leave, the other person has gained or taken advantage of them. The other person has gotten too much from them. You understand? So then they stay in until they lose it. You understand?
Yeah, I get it.
But to think right, to act right, and to have right, sometimes, or I would say, it is better for you to abstain from premarital sex. It helps you yourself, because when you disengage, you don't feel used, you don't feel a part of you taken. You understand?
Yeah.
So it is for our own good, because if it is to know how to have sex and to master the act of sex, you can master it whilst you are in it. Because the best way to enjoy sex is to tell your partner how you enjoy it. So you tell them how they should do it, how you will love them do it, and you enjoy it. And they also, that is why there should be a lot of communication in sex.
We'll have to go on a break.
Thank you.
It's still Malt and Cuddles here on GhanaWeb TV with me, Patricia Roxanne Hammond. We're discussing sex and destiny, and also understanding that engaging in sexual acts with people you are not married to can be dangerous and can affect your destiny. We'll be right back to talk about how that will affect our destiny after this break.
Everyone needs the perfect snack to munch on during a fun moment.
Wow. Enjoy the tasty McBerry Twist Cupcake, deliciously baked and packaged for a sweet treat.
Premium quality cakes baked with love for all, enriched in butter and milk.
Yummy.
Oh, McBerry Twist Cupcakes, simply irresistible. Try one today.
This advert is FDA approved.
Okay, so welcome back from that quick break. The show is still Malt and Cuddles with me, Patricia Roxanne Hammond, and we're discussing sex and destiny, how sex, just one act of sex, can destroy your destiny. My guest is Reverend John Cato. I was going to say Reverend Doctor, so let me just say Reverend Dr. John Cato.
Professor.
He's a counselor and he is the resident pastor for Charismatic Evangelistic Ministry. He's going to list how an act of sex can destroy your destiny if done with a... So for us, it's out of marriage, it is wrong. Whether it is premarital sex or sex with an ex or sex for benefit, like friends with benefits, all of that. So for us, it is out of marriage, it is wrong and can affect your destiny. He's going to explain that.
Thank you very much. So sex is so powerful that the very mention of sex draws attention. And the very news of somebody involved in a sexual activity with the opposite section draws a lot of eyebrow, especially if the person is not the marital partner of the person at the center of events. And it's scriptural. In the Bible, there's even from Abraham that today we talk about Abraham being the father of many nations and Abraham being our great-grandfather. We all know the story of Abraham when the wife Sarah advised him to engage with Hagar, a housemaiden, for the sake of a child, and had a sexual encounter, although the children came. But we all know what happened. Ishmael and Isaac. Today, there is a lot of fighting in the Middle East because of Ishmael and Isaac. You understand? So it affects destiny a lot. We must be very careful. Somebody might have the ability to manage the extent to which they suffer, but it will still affect. If you look at Joseph in the book of Genesis, the Bible said that and the master's wife trapped him to sleep with her. And Joseph ran for his life. What Joseph was running away from is not that he cannot have sex or have a good sex. He was a nice looking young man, energetic young man. But he had his destiny in sight. So he ran away so his destiny will be intact. Imagine if Joseph has slept with Potiphar's wife. And now Joseph has risen to the point of becoming a prime minister. How manipulative Potiphar's wife would be to him, and how the mention of that act could affect his moral courage and his ability to deliver. But when the news went out that he was innocent and he ran away from that single act, they knew he was a man that could be trusted. They knew if he ran away from something in private, then things in public, he will not succumb to it. He will run away from it. And it gave him the moral courage to stand and to speak and to deliver.
And it's serious that we have, from all that you said, tracing back, we have even people in our country that just an act of sex has
brought them down.
Yes.
Has shattered their life they've built with a lot of effort, a lot of resources, a lot of support system. One act of sex.
Someone once said that, I wouldn't say, excuse me to say, that a penis, an ejaculated penis, does not even know a mad person. But first, it is ready and hard and hot. Anything available.
That is when you allow your erection to give you direction. When your erection gives you direction, you are in danger. That is why we must control our erection. So you don't just have sex because you have erection. Because you wake up in the morning as a man, as a strong, abled man, as a healthy man. Every man wakes up in the morning with an erection. But that erection is for urinal. That erection is not for sex. So you should have control over your body. And you should decide when to have sex and when to abstain from sex. You don't have sex with your wife because you saw your wife and you had an erection. Sex starts from the morning. If the action will take place in the evening, it must start from the morning. How you spoke to your wife, how you followed up on your wife, how you cared for your wife, how you handled your wife, how you loved your wife, cuddled her, appreciated her. Then the action in the evening will be super. You understand? So it is not when erection is there that you think about sex. You think about sex when you want to have it. So the same way you can decide to restrain from sex when you don't want to have it.
But why then why then some people make it sound like it is difficult to control erection?
Because they want to do it.
So
look, most of that
decided to do it, you will do it.
Yes, most of that acts have been premeditated, whether in marriage or out of marriage. 99% of acts of sex is premeditated. So That lady has been watched once, has been watched twice. A certain picture is forming in the mind of the person, and the person is admiring and planning and devising how to approach, where to do it, the possible places and the possible ways of doing it. That is why, please don't take for granted people who start making flirtatious moves towards you. When they see you, all that you are looking, they have nothing to say but to pass comment on how your breast is looking, how your buttocks is looking, how romantic and sexual you. Thank you. Be careful. Such places, such people, don't joke with them. If they get you, they won't spare you. Run away from them. So please be careful when you begin having certain ungodly feeling and sinful appetites. Watch it. The enemy is after your destiny. He is not after that act of sex. Because a lot of homes have been broken because of the act of sex. And mind you, the scripture says that it is only on that basis that a divorce becomes legal according to scripture. That you can only divorce your spouse when they commit the act of adultery, of going outside their marriage to have sex with another person. That is when divorce is granted according to scripture. Because Jesus, you know, when Jesus engaged the people and they refer to the law of Moses, that you can divorce when your spouse commit the act of adultery, which is having sex outside marriage. Yeah. Jesus said in the beginning it was not so. You understand? Yeah. Please, let's be very careful, because the president can come down because a woman open his legs to him. Open her legs to him. The president can come down. The president can lose all that they have built. People have lost their courage to speak in public and to address certain issues of life because that thing that they did is still hunting them. A whole empire can crumble in a day. What has been built over a period of years can come down in a day. Even the life of your children can be affected because the news of their father becoming infidelity in marriage is out there.
So does that mean that every sex outside of marriage automatically destroys destinies?
Yes, has the potential to destroy destiny. It has the potential to destroy destiny. Some people have not suffered that because they don't merit that. The reason why some people have survived it is that, one, they don't merit it. But if what they have, their possession, their position, their stature in life, their status in life, what the other person stands to gain, you understand, comes to play, they may suffer it. Some people have not suffered it because they don't merit it. But you see,
so even with the now young generation coming up, engaging in sexual activity, left, right, center, it also has the potential to destroy their destiny.
Yeah, do you know even when you perform the act of sex as a student, you are expelled from the school?
How?
Yes, when you are caught in
so for us it has been made public.
Yes, yes. That is why you, even with your spouse, you cannot have sex in the open. It is determined as indecent exposure.
Yeah.
It's a criminal offense.
That's true.
Thank you, because it's a secret thing. And it is supposed to be shrouded in that envelope of glory and privacy and secrecy. You understand? So you cannot even have sex with your own wife in the open as an act of indecent exposure. You understand? That's why I say it's more spiritual. And you and your wife having more sex binds you together more and brings you closer to each other more. That you push and fight together more. And do you know?
So in this case, when it happens that it binds you together, bonds you together, and then you introduce other people, third parties now coming in.
Yes. it affects the other person, because as I said earlier on, everyone you have sex with, you carry a part of the person along. So when you carry a part of me, you go and have sex with another person, you have shared me with that person, and you have shared yourself. So you have given part of me to the person, you have given part of you to the person has also given part of him or herself to you, and whoever they have slept with, they've given you a part. So the best way to transmit spiritual contamination is through sex.
Spiritual contamination.
Yes, the quickest way to floor somebody
is through sex.
If me as a man of God will come down or will be contaminated, will be possessed, is through the quickest way is through the act of sex.
So in this case, what if maybe it happens and you realize that, oh, I've made a mistake, and then you take it to God?
Go for deliverance. Ask for deliverance. Be delivered. Let that thing be cast out.
Delivered.
Of you. Yes, because it's a spiritual thing.
Jesus, out.
No,
that kind of thing.
They're not. The first thing is to accept you are wrong.
Okay, yeah.
You understand, and seek for help.
Yeah.
Admit you are wrong. You've done the wrong thing.
So this one, why are you going to seek for help?
You go to God.
Okay.
There is self-deliverance, and there is deliverance where you seek for a stronger person to also pray with you and command that thing out of you. You understand?
So when it happens like that, whatever soul ties you have with other people,
it gets broken. So I always advise people. You know, sometimes people find it difficult accepting that you are telling them the truth. So most couple I meet, when they are about to get married, I tell them, you have to go through deliverance. I'm not saying you have engaged with somebody, but if it has happened
in the past,
so that it's broken.
Okay.
So that it's broken. Most marriages have broken because of what the other person is carrying. It's fighting. Because I don't know if you've heard where people said, my ex did not do it like this.
Yes.
My ex did not speak like this.
It's a common kind of conversation.
Thank you. You are carrying a part of that ex along. So it keeps coming back. You are carrying a part of that person. And that is what, sometimes we think, oh, he just said it. No. Words are more spiritual than physical. The Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the man speaks. It's what's in our heart that we speak.
So anyone who has been involved in any sexual encounter outside of marriage,
you must go through deliverance. Even if you did it when you were married, and you committed that offense, you must go through deliverance. Whether your spouse knows it or not, go through deliverance. Otherwise, it will haunt you someday. Sex is more spiritual. Sex is ordained of God. It's not ordained of man. It's ordained of God for us to enjoy each other, for us to be procreational. You understand? That is why what God can do, he put it in the act of sex.
Okay.
You understand? So the Bible says that, and the angel came to Mary and said, you will conceive. And Mary says that, I knew no man. I've not slept with any man. How do I get? Because they knew, or it is known that God has put that ability to conceive in the act of sex. But you know that children are a gift from God. It's not all acts of sex that brings children.
Okay.
But God has hidden it in that act, so that when it is done right, God's blessings comes in. You understand? So it is ordained of God for spiritual purposes, where we have a soul tie, where we have a spiritual bonding, where I carry part of you wherever I go, you carry part of me wherever you go, as a spouse. That is why when I travel abroad, I miss my wife. When my wife travels, she misses me and desires me. You understand? Because I'm a part of it. That is why, you see, sometimes a spouse will say, I was here and I felt like calling my wife.
Yeah.
And when I called my wife, it's like my wife needed me, needed my attention, or was in some kind of trouble or something. Yes, because there is that bonding, there is that togetherness there. You understand? So in the institution of marriage, if sex is denied, then the marriage will suffer. That's why you must be careful. You don't deny your partner when it comes to sex.
Reverend, I'm so grateful. I have learned a lot. Just adding up to some few ones that I know, apart from knowing very well that premarital sex is wrong. you've taken us to another level of understanding how dangerous it is, understanding that sex is more spiritual than physical and can destroy you. Most people who have built their lives to a particular dimension have been brought down just because of some few minutes act.
Samson's destiny was cut short because of the act of sex. He couldn't control it. David nearly suffered sin because of Bathsheba. He slept with Bathsheba. He saw Bathsheba bathing from the rooftop.
And he couldn't control his erection.
He couldn't manage his erection, and his erection gave him direction. And he slept with somebody's wife. And Nathan came and he said, you have a lot of goats. If you got a visitor, that was the statement Nathan made. He said, if you have gotten a visitor, you had a lot of goats you could slaughter. Why go for someone's one and only goat? A visitor, erection comes and goes. It's not permanent. There's nobody who have had erection for 24 hours. Then they are sick.
Erection comes and goes. Please control your erection. Control it so that you do not allow it to direct you, because when it's directing you, it has to direct you to the right person. That is your spouse. If it directs you outside of that, you are in trouble and you will need deliverance. The show has been Mounts and Cuddles with me, Patricia Roxanne Hammond. My guest has been Reverend Dr. John Cato. He's a counselor and then the resident pastor of the charismatic evangelistic ministry. Until the same time next week, stay blessed.
I want you so bad, Alpha Cracker. I want you. I wanna say yes, I can't resist. I want you. Ooh, I want you, Alpha Cracker. I want you so bad, Alpha Cracker.
Alpha goodness rich in milk and butter, in Alpha Cracker, yummy and deliciously crunchy.
But I can't resist you.
Alpha Crackers, simply irresistible.
This advert is FDA approved.
Sweetheart, be mindful of your health. Dear products Nadia Makeup, I welcome you to Sigma Health and Beauty. You can call us the Beauty Embassy. Who pursue beauty more revealed with quality.
I want you so bad, Alpha Cracker. I want you. I wanna say yes, I can't resist. I want you. Ooh, I want you, Alpha Cracker. I want you so bad, Alpha Cracker.
Alpha goodness rich in milk and butter, in Alpha Cracker, yummy and deliciously crunchy.
But I can't resist you.
Alpha Crackers, simply irresistible.
This advert is FDA approved.
Sweetheart, be mindful of your health. Dear products Nadia Makeup, I welcome you to Sigma Health and Beauty. You can call us the Beauty Embassy. Who pursue beauty more revealed with quality makeup products. There is only one place. The Sigma Health and Beauty 2022 Ghana Makeup Awards Beauty Retail Business of the Year. Of course, we are the defending champions. World-class makeup brands and Kwanyetong, you name it. Maybelline, Dark and Lovely, House of Tara, and many more. Your professionalism in the beauty industry is unmatchable. The proper way of applying our products. Sigma Health and Beauty, Yewa Accra, Makola, Georgina Stores, and Rollins Park, Gate 4. Fryer 0248 138 596 and 0201 408 186. Or visit our online shop at www.beautyavenuegh.com. Sigma, your beauty, our joy.
Luckiest, luckiest, luckiest. Luck is everywhere for everyone, yeah. Luckiest. Star 712.
How to play and win online. Step 1. Go to the URL or website www.theluckiestafrica.com. Step 2. Click on Ready to Play and register. Step 3. Fill out your valid details to register. Step 4. Enter and confirm the OTP sent to your email. Step 5. Purchase your ticket or generate a random ticket. Step 6. Enter the ticket amount you want to buy. Step 7. Follow the steps to buy tickets for yourself or someone. Step 8. Confirm your ticket and choose your payment option. Step 9. Follow the steps to make payment. Step 10. Verify your phone number. I am Mr. Good Luck and I'm on a mission to spread luck all around.
Nurse, Baba, driver, bouncer, friends, teacher, banker. Star 712 hash. You could be the luckiest.
Everyone needs the perfect snack to munch on during a fun moment.
Wow. Enjoy the tasty McBerry Twist Cupcake, deliciously baked and packaged for a sweet treat.
Premium quality cakes baked with love for all, enriched in butter and milk.
Yummy.
Oh, McBerry Twist Cupcakes, simply irresistible. Try one today.
This advert is FDA approved.
As we speak, nursing trainees in Ghana for the past 18 months have not been paid their allowances, and it's made life very unbearable for
18 months.
18 months, almost a year and 6 months now, and it's made life very unbearable for our nursing training folks.
Welcome to another edition of Say It Loud here on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Tisu. My guest is the NUCS President, Daniel Opon. We speak about a number of issues concerning NUCS, and we're drawing some of the conversations around the recent spillage of water from the Akumbuam and Akumbuam dams. Welcome once again. Daniel, NUCS, how is NUCS doing?
All right, first of all, we want to extend the greetings to all the over 12.5 million Ghanaian students across the length and breadth of the country. The National Union of Ghana Students is 57 years now.
Okay.
And has been the main citadel of positive advocacy for the past years. We've had a lot of leaders leading this country, having their trainings from the National Union of Ghana Students. And so far, I think the union has played a lot of pivotal roles in a lot of happenings in our country now, having taken into consideration the establishment of Get Fund, Student Loan Trust Fund, allowances in the various nursing and teacher training associations, and other interventions and subventions administered by the National Union of Ghana Students. So I think so far we are doing well. This is the 57th NUCS administration, and we are also contributing our quota as part of a lot of positive advocacies we've outlined, and a lot of good works we are doing for the good students of this country.
57 years, 12.5 million population. That's close to an entire country's population.
Exactly.
But you are obviously bedeviled with a number of issues.
That's true.
Why is this Akumbuam dam spillage a big issue for you now? How does it concern NUCS in any way?
All right, so as I rightly said, NUCS contains students or encompasses students from the basic level to the PhD level. It was quite worrying and disheartening when we got to know of the incident of the man-made Akumbuam and pond spillage. So because we concern ourselves with the students, and normally when we got to know that the students are finding themselves in this tangent, we had to rush there to know how best the National Union of Ghana students could find solutions in helping these students out there. I think as a union that concerns ourselves with welfare issues, and now our students have find themselves in that tight corner, we have to just rush there and find solutions in helping them. Upon getting there, because we had heard of a lot of news, a lot of agencies bringing a lot of figures on the happenings, but we wanted to get there so that we ourselves get to know the actual challenges.
Yourself on the ground.
On the ground.
You went to, which places did you go to?
We went to Mepe, we went to places in Central Town, and we went to Bunu East District, Bunu East region, especially Pro District, to actually know the challenges out there because of the flooding.
Hi guys, we are back again, Charlie. This is going to be my last video here in Sao Tome. I hope you enjoy watching this video. This is my full experience in Sao Tome. This trip was organized by me and 3 other friends. We got our return ticket for 4,100 Ghana cedis, which is about $348 US. We settled in our Airbnb, which we found online, which cost us 100 euros. Morning, family. So this is my view here this morning. This place is amazing. I'm really glad I chose this Airbnb. So beautiful. Wow, I could live here the entire year. The only disadvantage is if you are somebody who can't sleep with noise. In the middle of the night, the waves were so loud, so I could literally hear it in like while sleeping here. So that's the only disadvantage. But apart from that, this place is beautiful. Wow, it's so beautiful. And moved to another Airbnb space after 2 nights to this beautiful place, which cost us 150 euros a night. On the second day, the first thing we needed to do was to rent a car for 45 euros, but the guy gave it to us for 40 euros a day. It's difficult to move around here on the island without a car, so I would encourage you to rent a car while you are here. If you can't drive, don't worry. They have cars that comes with a driver, but that's going to cost you extra. It will cost you between 50 euros to 60 euros a day, a driver and a car. We exchanged some euros to Dobras, which is their local currency here, and they accept euros as well. So don't worry. If you have any other currency you want to use here in Sao Tome, I would recommend you use the euros here. On the second day, we spotted this island from our Airbnb, so we decided to go check it out. We got to the Santana Hotel, paid 15 euros to see this island. So guys, that over there is the Club Santana Hotel, and we are going to this beautiful island which you saw earlier. Guys, so beautiful. The water is blue, turquoise blue. We are through.
Let's go.
We tried a local meal after.
It's like, I don't know what it is, but it tastes like potatoes. Thank you very much.
The next day was scuba diving, which we were all excited about because it's going to be our first time scuba diving. And this is how it went.
Okay, when you see me doing that, that's equalized.
I mean, we have to. And
This means
going up.
this is going up, yeah? This would be going down.
Going down, okay.
This means I'm okay.
This entire activity cost us 80 euros, which was the most expensive activity for the entire trip.
I'm going to be scuba diving close to this shipwreck. Yes, this right there in the middle of the ocean. It's going to be fun. I'm very happy.
The good part is you don't have to know how to swim to scuba dive. They would assist you. So on your next stay here in Sao Tome, I'll encourage you, whether you can swim or not, make it a point to at least try this activity. Is it worth it? A big yes. So we ended the day having pizza and visited the Hellmouth. This is a beautiful place. I would encourage you to visit. The next day was our tour day, and we were lucky to have our tour guide, who is called JP, with us. The good part is JP also drives, so he offered to drive us for free, but we paid 40 euros a day for his tour guide services. And most people here do not speak English, they speak Portuguese, so I would encourage you to at least find a tour guide who speaks English so you can have a better feel of visiting this island. JP took us on a history tour, which I've posted all my videos on my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Watch all my videos from Sao Tome. And we had lunch. At the end of the tour, we had lunch at a local restaurant, which is called the Santola. We had a local crab delicacy, which I highly recommend on your next trip here in Sao Tome.
Breaking the crab leg.
Oh, this is selfie.
Wrap it in the napkin. Like this.
Cover it well, otherwise you're gonna get it.
Yes. Guys, look at this. Oh, it's yummy. This is good. So guys, we are currently at the very popular tunnel here in Sao Tome. If you come to Sao Tome and you don't come visit this tunnel, then you didn't visit. This place is beautiful. I hope the videos do justice.
We also saw the black sand beach for the first time, and it was a very beautiful sight because it's very different from the usual beach we've seen. I've seen white beaches, I've seen brown sand beaches, but this is really different. It's so beautiful. I encourage you to see this place on your next visit to
Black beach here in Sao Tome, and this is the only place in the north where you can find a black sand beach. This is so beautiful. Wow, I'm really amazed. Look at this. So dark in color.
The next day was the southern tour. We visited this famous volcanic rock here, and if you haven't watched my previous video, you need to go back and soak all this beautiful scenery here in.
So guys, our next stop is the Big Dog Peak. That's it over there. It's so beautiful, and oh guys, here's so nice. Here's so nice. Let's take a look at it. I have never seen this before. This is so beautiful, so green, and this is a perfect place to take a picture when you're in Sao Tome. Come here whenever you're here.
We also saw the waterfall for free.
So guys, we ordered a cup of coffee, which costs €1 here at the waterfall. Oh, like I like this.
And drove about an hour and 45 minutes to the resort called Inhami.
Here at the lodge, we are heading towards the island, and the island is called the Island of Rhodas. And before we get there, we need a boat to get there. That place is really beautiful. Here is beautiful from the pictures I have seen. I can't wait to get there, and it costs €10 per person. Guys, Sao Tome is surprisingly very, very beautiful. We are about to have lunch here before going to see the equator. So guys, after lunch we are going to the center of the world, located here in Sao Tome, and we are going to see the equator, which is about 30 minutes walk from the shore. So we are going. After 20 minutes walk, I am finally at the center of the world, but the rest are still at the back. I've been fit lately, so yeah. Okay, so he says I need to step in with my right foot first. It brings good luck. Good luck in Jesus' name. Amen. I'm finally here. Whew. I am at the center of the world. Center of the world. This is the center of the world.
The next day was the last tour day, which was the center tour. We started with a visit to the botanical gardens, which we learned a lot about the plants here in Sao Tome. And yeah, we also learned a little bit about the history and how the Portuguese colonized Sao Tome.
Last one is Rei Amador. He's the one who cut the neck of the Portuguese before they gained independence. So this is their hero.
On our last day in Sao Tome, we spent the entire day at this beautiful resort called the Omali Resort. We had lunch and the manager was kind enough to give us free food and drinks. Oh, a big shout out to her. But unfortunately, I lost all my footages from these resorts. But yeah, guys, I'll recommend when you also decide to spend some nights here in the city, I'll recommend the Omali Resorts. We had a good time. The rooms are lovely. I even wished I spent more time here. Unfortunately, on my next visit, I will gladly visit this resort. Don't forget to. It's called the Omali Resort.